Why do we eat matzah on Pesach? If I asked you before this, why do you eat matzah on Pesach? Mordechai?
Why? Because it was, we left Egypt in haste.
Right.
And we didn't have time
Right.
for bread to rise.
Right.
So that became a tradition, which became
Mitzvah, yeah.
mitzvah.
So, they explain that means that when the Jews were slaves, they used to give them matzah to eat because matzah fills you up and it's an easy, cheap thing to do. But what's going on? Well, I thought we had matzah because it was in the haste and it symbolizes freedom. Yeah, I thought matzah symbolizes freedom. But here it symbolizes poverty. Yeah? You hear the question? What's matzah? Yeah, so that's the big question here. So we'll talk about that a bit, and we'll get to the other things a bit more minor. There's an idea I heard, I think from Rabbi. Why does matzah represent freedom? Because we're in a hurry. Okay, why does matzah represent freedom? What is freedom? So freedom in a Western sense is you're not in prison, you can do what you want. Plenty of people that are free do what they want are not free. Meaning free is in free in yourself, not addicted to something, not addicted to work, money, food, drugs, alcohol, lots and lots of things, right? True Jewish Torah sense of freedom is being internally free. And we say that real freedom is connected to my soul. It's connected to my essence, my body and the soul. And a lot of lack of freedom is when I'm meshubed, I'm attached to my body. I need to eat, I need to do this, and we should look after our body. But freedom is going back to my pure essence, which is really my soul. Okay? What's matzah versus chametz? What's the difference between matzah and chametz? Nothing really, just a bit of time. And chametz gets bigger, it fills up. So in this way, the Balei Machshava, the commentary say, matzah represents person, soul at its essence, at its base, without any additions. Whereas chametz is yeast, it's risen, it's extra stuff. And that's also why halacha, you're not allowed on Seder night, and most will never, but some Sfardim you can, but you can never have on Seder night, you can't be yotzi the mitzvah with matzah ashira, rich matzah, which has juice or honey or things like that. Right? Why? On this idea, because it's additions, right? It's adding something, it's not the pure self, right? The freedom of matzah is just the pure essence. So on Seder night, what we're really doing is getting back to our beginning. Seder night, Pesach, is the birth of the nation. So in a sense, what we're trying to do, as we know, holidays is not just remembering something, it's reliving it, is getting back to our pure essence of our pure souls. Right? That's the freedom of matzah. Now that really isn't a contradiction to the poverty of matzah. We asked, the Jews, it says here, halach manya, that's what the poor man's bread. What do you mean? I thought it was bread of freedom. The answer is both. The poor man's bread, not that you have to be poor, but the poor man's bread, when a person doesn't have anything else, he only has himself and he has his soul. And the Jews in Egypt had so nothing that they got to base zero, like without anything, and then they could have, Hashem could fill them up with the Yetzias Mitzrayim and so on. Right? Just to flesh out this idea, Rabbi said in Germany when the Nazis were already there, before they knew it'd be a Holocaust, and people realised it was bad, and people left. The people that found it hardest to leave were the wealthiest people. Why? Because they had their house, they had their things. That held them back. They became slaves to their things. A person who looks at his car or his house as part of him, how much, or his money, how much, what are you worth, right? What are you worth? £500,000. Then it's not just him. He's become meshubed, he's become attached. If someone's car gets damaged and he feels like he lost a limb, he's attached to it. You can use it, it's a good thing, there's nothing wrong with it, but not to be attached to it. And nowadays, very obviously with technology and iPhones, people, they can't. I read in England, my dad sent me a thing in England, there was a woman who made her iPhone waterproof so she could take it to the shower. And she actually got a disease from her back being bent. We laugh, but look around. It's not that. Thank God for Shabbos. We tried to make a Shabbos app, right? Yeah. So Pesach is freedom. Again, you not only have to be poor, but the idea of poverty is it enables you to, like Yom Kippur is a bit, you don't have anything, it enables you to get back to your essence.